Hello everyone, and welcome to the 11th Single Scoop episode. I am JR, and today I am joined by my co-hosts. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Oldar.
And I'm Min. I'm never on this show, so I'm very confused.
That is a-okay, we will help you along. Welcome to this special Single Scoop episode. Why is it special? Well, first of all, we're all here together, which is rare. Min usually does not join us, so we're very happy to have her on today. But also because this is the last Single Scoop before season 3 of our main podcast, K-Pop Sundae, is released in July. So tune in on the first Sunday of July for our season premiere. In today's episode, we're celebrating the end of the school year and taking a page out of most people's yearbooks. Superlatives. A superlative is a descriptor of a person or group, so we're going to take some time to go through superlatives that we have picked for ourselves and each other. So, Oldar, why don't you start us off?
So, this was JR's pick for me to answer, and the superlative was, who is the most changed idol from debut to current day? And this one I had to think about a lot, because initial idols who came to mind were like Kim Jae-jung, who was known for being very quiet at debut, and now is very loud, or Kim Seok-jin from BTS, who was very quiet and then was very loud, or Kim Namjoon, who's really matured over the years. But then I realized that sometimes that's part of like the concept. Like Kim Jae-jung and Kim Seok-jin were both loud people. They were just quiet as a concept. So since that's not really them who changed, it's like, well, that doesn't really count as changing. So the idol that came to mind was HOT's Lee Jae-won, which I know, not surprising. But the reason why is that being quiet was not a theme for him. That's just how he was due to a tragedy when he was a child. Like, he is very quiet. But in recent years, he's really opened up. And it's kind of hilarious because his career started because of random circumstance and because SM thought he was just the greatest thing. They were like, we don't care, he can't sing or dance. We're gonna get him anyway. And he's very notorious for his silence, but because he's opened up over the years, and now he's very confident, he's getting into stuff he didn't before. So I'm going to say that he's the most changed, because that's him as a person who's changed. And that's then affected his performance on the stage.
Mm-hmm. I figured your pick would be HOT or something like that.
Yeah.
It was not who I was thinking of at first. I was really thinking of Kim Jae-jung first. I was like, oh, everyone knows how he used to be really quiet. It's like, well, technically that wasn't his choice. That's because he couldn't shut up. There's a couple other idols, but it's like some of them, it's like time to where they just matured over time to where it's not really them changing. But most of it, though, that I was thinking of idols who've like drastically changed, it's just been concepts that the company pushed on them.
Right.
And then eventually their true self got to shine through. So that really disqualified a lot of idols I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I got is most likely to create hype with news of their comeback, which was surprisingly difficult for me to figure out since we've gotten some really big comebacks recently. Like, had Psy not released his 9th album, like last month, when this comes out, I don't know when this comes out, recently, I would have picked him, definitely, hands down. And it was hard to not be like, this is the one that I would personally like to see, like 21 or Brown Eyed Girls or whatever. Currently, the person that I think would amass a lot of hype for their comeback, not only from just fans waiting for it, but like a lot of people would be intrigued by it, would probably be Hyuna.
Oh, yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, she might have had one because she's starting to perform again. She really recently did a performance, but there hasn't been announced anything, but I think a lot of people would be really excited for whenever her next project starts dropping, because I have a feeling it will be a big thing if it comes. I do not know. Do you guys have any that you'd like to see make big hype this year? Don't think, only say words. First person to come. Not that.
Oh my goodness.
I was going to say Big Bang, because that one had been so anticipated. And also there was the question of, this is going to be their first time as 4. What is that going to look like? We know that Top's view on the Korean public has changed dramatically, and he doesn't think of them very positively. So how is he going to react to coming back as a group? So,
but they already did.
No, but I'm just saying that that's, you know, that kind of artist, though, who it's like, people have been waiting, they're like, it's coming, but it has yet to come. But I honestly think that if they were to come back, TVXQ as 4, I don't think that they would include Yuchon at this point. But because Kim Jae-jung has been making moves to come back to the Korean music industry, because he's mainly been in Japan because he doesn't have any limits on Japan.
Right.
He's apparently some parts of that limit on him or have expired, supposedly. Because we'll hope so. It's been about 10 years. And if that's true, then he's going to do a collaboration. He's going to release something in Korea. Like, he recently did a collab with Junsu, his member. So I think that it would be absolutely wild if the 4 of them came back and did something, especially because of the crazy split. I think if that happened, that would be so shocking. Like, that would create a lot of hype because a lot of people have forgotten because they've gotten older and new people have come in. So they don't remember TVXQ as 5. So I think if they came back as 4, just even without Yuchon, just Jae-jung and Yuno together.
Yeah. Yoonho and Changmin would have to leave SM. I don't think there's any way for that to happen as they are now.
That's what I was thinking, though. But consider what's going on with, well, I was going to say Girls' Generation, but also with HOT, how apparently they've been doing some work with SM through Kangta, who's still there. So I'm wondering if SM is trying to make a path for former artists to come back and do some work with them. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but if it would be
absolutely shocked if Jae-jung went back to SM.
Not at least not work with SM, but like, yeah, exactly, in some capacity. That's what I'm saying. That would be absolutely shocking. But I think that if that news came out, that would be the ultimate hype because no one would be expecting. Everyone's like, how?
Trying to think of one for myself. Nothing's coming to mind, but I have nothing to bring to the conversation.
Nobody you'd even be hyped for? Not even the dude that I can't remember the name of, but the dude?
The dude? A singular dude?
Yeah, there's one singular dude that you were, like, really into his music, like, last
Jung
year.
Sewoon?
No.
Oh, I'm into multiple, but none of them are big enough that their hype would, like, overtake the nation.
But what will fill your heart with the hype?
Well, Jung Sewoon hasn't had a comeback in over a year, so if he would release something, I would be very happy.
Yay!
Yeah. So I will create the hype with the news of his comeback. So he's got to come soon.
Yes.
But anyway, the one I picked for myself is most likely to start a band. And I have mentioned this probably more than once before, but I want essentially Super M, but band version. I want idols that can play instruments to come together and to create a band. And I think they would take the world by storm. Maybe not, I don't know. Apparently people like dancing too much. But there's so many idols that do play instruments. So you can make whatever concoction of members from different groups that you want. Some that came to mind were like Kim Jae-hwan from 101. He can play multiple instruments. He's working as a solo artist, obviously, because 101 has disbanded since, I don't know, 2-3 years now. But he can play so many instruments, so he would be a great addition, I'm sure. Chanyeol is also known for playing a lot of instruments, so pick and choose what you would like him to play. I'm trying to think. All of the final lineup of Wonder Girls, obviously, knows how to play instruments. I'm not sure about the ones before, because I just am not that knowledgeable about them. But they can play instruments. Seung-hee from Oh My Girl, she can play guitar. I know that for sure. If I were to sit and like actually create a band, it would take some time. So I'm just gonna throw names out here right now. But I just think that would be so much fun because a lot of these K-pop groups, they don't necessarily but there's not a lot of room for them to show their talents when it comes to instruments. Like sometimes if they're on a reality show, they'll bring out a keyboard or they'll bring out a guitar and stuff like that. But besides that, if you are in a dance group, you are very likely to just dance and sing or rap, whatever is your position. I think it would be fun for them to show their talents in this way. Do you guys have any picks that you would want for sure in a group like this? Because
you mentioned Superdem, you just reminded me that Mark can play guitar, and at one point he could play flute. And as a flute player, it's like it's playing flute is either hit or miss in bands. Like if he goes the Cass Elliot route, that'd be great with like California Dreaming with the flute. That'd be hilarious. Good grief, that can go really bad very easily. I was thinking about Super Junior. There's multiple members that play instruments, and they've done performances at their shows where they've basically played as a band.
That's so fun.
But they haven't ever made an official subunit. It's just something like a side thing that they do at concerts, just like covering girl group songs. Like, it's just something they do pull out sometimes, but they've never actually done anything actual with it.
I also just thought it would be fun if they could incorporate traditional Korean instruments into this.
Like Himchan?
Because I know... Who?
Himchan from BAP.
What?
He played traditional Korean drums, and that was used in No Mercy.
Yeah.
That was a...
Exactly.
I know there's at least 2 other idols who play traditional instruments. I know there's at least 2 who were trained in it.
Yeah. There are a few idols out there. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but...
There's 2 girl group members. I know that.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, totally. What about you, Min?
I don't know.
I'm surprised that certain idols who are really big into rock music haven't started bands yet. Like, the fact that Kim Jae-jung just has a band that he assembles for certain comebacks and then, like, bounces. Like, he hasn't made, like, an official band is very strange to me. And also, like, Moon Hee-jun, same thing when he was going solo. I'm surprised that he didn't do that either. Like, those 2 I would expect to go do that at some point. Or Yukyung from AOA Black. I'm surprised she never ended up in a band. Well, she did, but not like a band where, like, she stayed with them as an idol. AOA. And, yeah, I really would have liked that. She was just, like, a part-time... They called her a part-time member. I think that was one of the words that they used for her. I would have liked more of her. I'm always upset with AOA Black that they were not as popular as they deserved to be.
Alrighty.
Next, me.
Let's move on to Oldar's picks for herself and for us.
So my pick for myself, because I just love this, who is the most likely to win Jeopardy? So if you're outside the US, you don't know what Jeopardy is. It's basically a trivia quiz show that goes over everything from pop culture to math, science, religion. Like, it covers everything. Anything is possible to end up on Jeopardy. And if there was to be an idol who would do it, I would think Eun Ji-won would be great because he has a lot of connections to different stuff and he's done a lot of stuff for a long time. So I think that he's probably the most likely because there's a lot of idols who I feel like have a lot of knowledge, but it's mainly in like one particular vein, whereas he's very much well-rounded in his knowledge. So I think that he would probably clean up pretty well. But if it was mainly just like K-pop trivia, I think if he were to be like competing against Ki or Lee Hyori, then it might be tough. So I think Eun Ji-won would be like, no one would beat him.
Does he know current stuff though?
Yeah. He keeps up with everything.
Fair.
He's also on variety shows, so of course he meets everybody.
That's true too. Yeah.
And he also gets invited to back places too. Yeah, he can blend with anyone.
Very nice.
No other opinions? I know Min doesn't really watch Jeopardy.
Doesn't go on TV here. Not that I watch TV anymore anyway, but I don't know enough about idols, so I don't know. No.
That was the thing, like, there's certain idols who, they're either very well knowledgeable of their company, very well knowledgeable of, like, certain types of groups, or current or past or whatever, or they're like, hey, I went to college for this and I know all about this. But those idols still are very much limited. They don't really have well-rounded knowledge. So it's like, well, then can't pick this person. That was the problem, is that you have to really, because Jeopardy is very comprehensive. Like, just anything could be on the board.
Yeah, you gotta know a lot.
So Min, your turn.
The one that I got is Best Dancer, and that's Taemin. No more needed.
Really?
No more opinions needed. Case closed. Goodbye. Next question.
Very good choice.
That wasn't who I thought you were going to say. So that's really interesting.
Who do you think would say?
I thought you were going to say a girl. Because like, there's a lot of girl groups that like you're very well aware of their musicality. Like, not musicality, of how they dance and stuff. So I thought that you would say, yeah, absolutely this chick.
No.
Oh.
There's something about how Taemin both dances, because there's literally not a dance style he can't do. Except maybe twerking, because man got no buns. There is nothing there. But he can do basically anything with dance and make it look easy as just breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he stumbles, you don't notice that he actually stumbles. Like, I had watched many of his dance practices, and it took me so long to see, like, oh, he actually stumbled there. He could have fallen, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's very fluid in how he dances.
He's very precise, I'd say.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good, yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Look at that. All of us agreeing. This is happening more often.
It's
what is
taming.
going on? That's true. Well, speaking of shiny, Oldar's pick for me was most likely to be president. And I feel like some people might think this is a cop-out, but shiny's Minho... I don't know why. I just think of him when I see this superlative. If you've ever seen him talk, I think you'd understand why I feel like that. He's practically a politician already, in my opinion. And I mean that in the best way possible. But watch any interview or appearance on a variety show that he's ever been on, and I think you'll understand why. But I don't know. I feel like he'd be a pretty chill president. Anyone agree, disagree, have a different idea of who...
That makes sense, but I was going to think about, from Emergency Act 19, I was thinking maybe Ihyori, because she is an animal rights activist.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I was also thinking, for a long time, people were talking about Choi Siwon as being politician-like. They were like, oh, he looks like he's going to go into politics.
Right.
Like, he looks like he's going to become somebody like that, but then he obviously didn't.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm just here to look good. That's what I'm here for.
And he's an ambassador for, like, I don't know how many organizations.
UNICEF, yeah. He's a bunch of stuff. But then he's also gotten himself in trouble for going into stuff about Israel. So it's like, oh, buddy. Very politician of you. Very politician
There's
of you.
been more than that.
No.
Yeah.
But that's
so
like the one where it's
he's
like
already got the
world
politician
affairs.
stuff under his belt.
Yeah.
The good stuff and the bad. But yeah, I don't know. I'm for him being my president. He can come over here. He can't. The U.S. has a law about that. You can't. You have to be a natural born citizen.
Yeah, we change every other rule nowadays.
We'll change it for him.
We specifically, Congress.
I don't know why I'm saying it like he can't be the president of South Korea. He could very well be the president.
We've just decided that he's going to be U.S.
I'll naturalize.
president.
But yeah, I think he'd be pretty legit.
Yeah, Mino, I think would be pretty good. But I prefer him being just an idol, because I've noticed with, like, presidents how, like, you've probably seen those pictures, like, when they go in the office, they've got black hair, but then when they leave the office, they have a ton of gray hair. It's like, that ages you, man.
Yeah, that is a point. I don't know. He'd look good with white hair.
Has he done one? Has Mino?
I think he's done gray. I don't think he's done, like, I don't think he's ever bleached it platinum. But I don't know.
Now I'm curious, because
he has. He has been like white blonde.
Has he?
Yeah, he has.
Am I
He has
crazy?
dyed his hair. Wild.
No.
Yeah, he looks fine. I think he could do it. I think as long
Confirmed.
as it doesn't bleach his, as long as it doesn't bleach his eyebrows, like as long as it doesn't gray his eyebrows, I think he'll be fine. He's one of those where, like, you need to have the dark eyebrows.
All right. Are we on our last set of picks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My picks.
Fun.
So Min's pick for me was, who did I think would be the most likely to faceplant on the red carpet? And my answer is Kim Jae-jung. He hasn't done it yet, but I wouldn't put it past him because he's had so many falls over the years that are, like, publicly known or have been publicly seen. So probably him. Or the other one I had in mind was Onu from SHINee, because I remember in his early years, he had a really bad fall. I don't think it was him, but there was an idol who had their teeth knocked out, like their front teeth, because they had a really bad tumble down a staircase. It might have been him. He had, like, a tooth chipped or something. But Onyu is notorious for being clumsy and falling over as well. So I think Onyu also is possible. But definitely Jae-jung, though. The fact that he hasn't yet is it's just a matter of time. Like, the more red carpets he goes to, the higher the chances of him falling at some point. So let's invite him.
Just for that. All these red carpets are like, the first one to get him to faceplant wins.
Yeah, kind of like Jason Derulo, but Jae-jung, when he falls, like, he goes down like a ton of bricks. Or, like, he looks like Bambi. Like, it's one of those two. Yeah, hype for him come back to Korea. So he can fall.
Yay.
Not really. We don't want him
That's
getting
all we
hurt,
want.
but
Slapstick falling.
he's into slapstick, though, so I think he'd be fine with it. Like, not, like, one time he fell and he hurt his leg really bad. He had to wear a brace for his arm for a while for something, too. So, I think that if, out of all people, it's probably him. It's just a matter of time. So, Min, what about your pick for yourself?
I chose Best Himbo, just because the answer is so obvious. And it's Wonho.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
There's
so glad you said
nobody
that.
else. His Instagram, just pecs, no thoughts. Muscles, no thoughts. Eye on you, Himbo all the way. It is who he is. I do love him though, but...
It's fun watching his music because there was one music video of his I watched last year where he's very cute, but he is so buff to where it just looks kind of off. But, like, he's got a great smile.
Mm-hmm. Just yesterday, I was on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure I follow his Twitter. Maybe it was someone who had liked it that I follow. Anyway, point being, it was a picture of him, and he's dressed in, like, this... It wasn't military gear. It was, like, cargo pants and, like, a harness and stuff like that.
Yeah, the strappy one.
And the way... Okay.
With the paint.
And he's just,
Is it the one
like...
with the
he
paint?
looks so buff.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. But he's got, like, a cute little smile and a peace sign thrown up. And I'm like, the juxtaposition, my brain cannot compute.
Exactly. He's both.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking up and then you see
So
that
funny.
smile. Yeah.
I love it for him.
We all agree, he is the best Himbo there is.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's great at it, and he's having a great time with himself. JR and I think I might have mentioned this to you, Min, as well, that if someone were to, like, do a superhero movie, they really need to invite Wonho. Like, Wonho, and there was a couple other people that we suggested who are just notoriously well built, because...
Yeah, like Cards BM.
Yeah, that was the other one. We just think about how many actors have said, oh, I had to do this crazy diet sort of thing in order to get this body, but it's like, this is what these people do on the regular. So it's not as bad as someone doing like a crash diet to get there. So I think it'd be more safer because that's their lifestyle. So it's like, cast them as superheroes at the very least in like either just like a small movie thing or like a K-drama. I think it would be a great K-drama if they did.
Yeah.
Just like these goofy guys.
And the thing is, nobody would even
built.
care if they can't act. Like,
no.
I would be fine with them not being able to act. I just want to see them interact with each other. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. I just think that any project that they could do together would be a lot of fun, yeah.
All right. So, the last pick, Min's pick for me, is most likely to accidentally dox themselves. And I feel like most idols have already accidentally doxed themselves in one way or another, especially in the era of the live stream. But one that specifically came to mind is N-Flying's Jaehyun. And I think it's just because he seems pretty absent-minded, so I could definitely see him in a situation like that, where he just, like, accidentally flashes something on screen that he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I think he's a pretty good contender for that.
Yeah.
Well, he's gotten, I feel like, a lot more mature in recent years, but he still is a very goofy guy, so I can kind of see it. But another one that came to mind was NCT's Yuta, who I don't think is a very absent-minded guy, but there was one time where he was at a hotel, and he wrote something on a notepad, because, you know, hotels have them, and they've got, like, the hotel name on there. And he just wasn't thinking, and he flashed that at the camera, and then he realized that he just, like, told everybody where NCT was staying. And he was like, oh no, and he had to end the live stream. Like, there's just stuff like that can happen at any time when you're doing live streaming where you can't cut it out, or, like, nobody can blur it post. Mm-hmm. Because it's live, baby.
So it's kind of scary, but we mean it in good fun. Like, we don't wish for any of these idols to be doxxed. We hope they all stay safe and that nobody comes for them. But
it's more in the who is cute and kind of stupid. That's what we're looking for here.
Oh, you know who else? Tonge from Super Junior. That dude has been through it with technology. Like, I don't know if this is still true, but there was a long time where a bunch of fans had gotten his phone number and were calling him, and he didn't know how to change his number. And so he was just, like, stuck with it for a long time. I think he eventually figured it out, but he just was like, oh well, and he just kept it. But he's one of those people I would expect that to happen to as well. I'm trying to think, who else would that happen to? Oh, I had an idea in mind and then I forgot. No, brain empty.
Brain empty. at the end of the episode, so that's okay.
Now's the time to lose your mind, yes.
All right, well, why don't we wrap it up?
Well, wasn't that fun? Obviously, many idols can fit into these categories, so if you have something in mind, tweet it at us. If you're someone who has a podcast, you can absolutely take this, and we have a list where you can do it for yourself and be like, hey, I want to pick these 3 superlatives and talk about the idol I think would match the best. Or if you're just someone who's just a general fan, you can do it as well. So we're going to have that open up for you guys. Just be sure to tell us if you do it, because we would love to just see what you came up with. But that's it for today. JR, take it away.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, then please make sure to rate, subscribe, follow, and tell your friends about us. If you want to interact with us or just see more of our content, then you can follow us on Twitter at K-Pop Sundae or on our other social media platforms, which will be in the description. Our first episode of Season 3 of the K-Pop Sundae Podcast will be released on July 3rd, 2022, so keep an eye out for that, and more single scoops will also be coming your way. Thanks everyone, bye!
Bye!
안녕.